Little yellow box is lit. We are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Coming at you with some love for some Impact Wrestling this evening. Hope you're all doing well. Just this. So we kick this off. All right, we are good. Oh, no, the kitties are at it again. I'm busy. Go play. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be one of those nights, folks. If I let you in, do you promise to behave? She is trying to get in here. You know what? We're just going to take care of this. It's always when I'm live. I'm telling you, folks, love me, love my cats. What? Well, come here. Come here. Come here. Like I said, love me, love my cats. Ow. Sassy. And then she walks along, like all back here, and oh, now she's gone. She usually walks along and, like, you know, starts checking out all the figures and then walks up here and knocks all these down over here. Oh, my goodness. Hell of a start to the show. Are you cut? No, now she's just completely lit up. All right. Impact Wrestling. Where the hell do I start? Before I start that, I want to let you know that there is plenty more content where that came from. Go check it out when you have time. Smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Because YouTube's just doing all sorts of crazy stuff lately. You done now? All right. I think we can close the door. Hopefully she is busy just playing over there. All right. Gotta love the cats. Where do we start with this episode? You know what? Let's just start at the top. I usually jump all over the place. We'll just start at the top tonight. Starts out with Madison Rayne in a promo, confronted by Tessa Blanchard, and they're in a brand new joint tonight. In the remaining episodes leading up to Slammiversary, which is what, a month away, just less than a month away. They're in Windsor, Ontario, at some college campus. Nice crowd. That's the first thing I want to say about this review for this episode. Nice crowd. This crowd was fired up. This crowd wanted to see some wrestling. This crowd wanted to this crowd did not just want to sit on his hands like a lot of the folks down in Florida. And if you're from Florida, that's not meant anything personal towards you. It's just those crowds a lot of times get really complacent. And you know that's not an opinion, that's a fact. I mean, they pipe up, you know, when Pentagon hits the ring or something's going on. But how many times have these folks gone busted their ass trying to fire the crowd up? And it's like two guys in the front going, and the rest of them are just, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And it sucks. It's like when there's a dead ass crowd, it does affect the show. But when that crowd is fired up about what's going on in the ring, it's easy to get on the edge of your seat and get behind what's on TV, even if it's someone you've never seen before. It's like, oh, what's going on? So yeah, Madison's in the ring. Talking about Slammiversary, Tessa Blanchard confronts her. They start going nose to nose. And the Su Yung cackle comes in to play here, folks. Oh my goodness. Some creepy ass stuff with the Su Yung cackle. Throws them both off, but Tessa not as much, and just knocks Madison on her rear end. And that's how that first segment ends. And obviously, that's leading to a match at the end of this episode. Next, we get a debut from Rich Swann. I've been looking forward to this for some weeks now. We did see him in, what was it? A Wrestling Revolver show tied with Impact Wrestling about a month ago. I believe that's what it was. And he won, and you'll have to excuse my senility. I don't remember what championship he won, but it was a multi-man match for a championship. Something tied with that company. It wasn't an Impact-related belt. But he made a debut, and the crowd loved him. And it was then revealed that he would make his debut at these tapings, which are now being aired. And it's like, at this point, I didn't care who he'd face. I didn't care if he'd even face some local Joe Schmo. I'm just excited to see Rich Swann back in the ring wrestling, even with that crazy-ass hairdo. Oh, my goodness. Did you look at his head? Did you look? I mean, I'm no one to talk. I'm follically challenged myself. I choose to, wax this about once a week. No, not really. But I asked my wife tonight. I was watching it. I was like, wow, look at his new haircut. And she was like, what the hell is going? And I cut her off. I was like, honey, I could do that. I've got the, there's nothing up here. But from like here on back, I could grow that out and do the, what do they call that? Mini dreads? Something like that. I could do the mini dreads, work on my dance moves. And my wife just looked at me like she wanted to throw something at me. I was like, wow, really? It's just hostile. She did not feel the love for Rich Swann like I do. And I was mildly offended that she would not get behind a haircut like that. I mean, I couldn't do the lines and the stars and the comets or whatever the hell he's got on this front section up here. I couldn't do that. I could paint them on or something, but it was what did he say in the interview? He said it was inspired by Minoru Suzuki. If you don't know who that is, go look him up. Go Google him. He's part of the New Japan Pro Wrestling roster right now. I believe he's even a champ right now. Don't remember which one it is. The Neverweight champion? Possibly. I think that's what it is. But anyways, one of those New Japan champions. But he's got a crazy ass looking head too. Oh my goodness. Little lines and stuff all over the place. So Rich Swann has a match with Trevor Lee. Enough about Rich Swann's hair already. My goodness. Is this guy going to review the show? Yes, Mark. Just wait. He's getting to it. Rich Swann has a match with Trevor Lee. Great match. Rich Swann gets his first win. Solid start to being on this roster. And one thing I want to bring up about the teleconference, and I'm not going to review the whole thing, but it is worth a listen. It's cool. He's laid back. He's positive. There's no negativity. I mean, he did address the past issues before answering questions. He's like, look, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm moving forward with my life. My wife and I are doing great right now. We're both working for Impact Wrestling. And, he just left it at that and then answered fan questions, which is good. Duke to go is in the chat tonight. He says, I think Lucha Underground has spoiled me. Aside from Swan Lee and the Slammiversary announcements, I wasn't too ecstatic with this episode of Impact. Well, you know what? I can understand that. My wife actually had a similar reaction about halfway through it. It really was all over the place. I mean, you really had to keep up with it because they had matches, they had promos, they were over here, then they were over here. So I mean, it was a really fast paced show. So, and I get that. And I like it when it's fast paced and there's like a lot of content. It's what I've come accustomed to with this new production of Impact Wrestling. I love it when they're like, hey, we're going to show you matches from where we're shooting from right now, but we're also going to go over here to House of Hardcore and show you what happened over here with the guys when they were, whatever. And then they showed the attack on Pentagon from PCW over in California. They showed that, and I thought that was cool. I would have liked to seen more of that segment to see how Sammy got in the cage with Pentagon. Was Pentagon in a match with someone else? I would have liked to seen an extra 5-minute build up to that, just to not just the attack. I mean, we know why he attacked him, but that's my only criticism on that. Let's see. So yes, Sami Callihan attacking. Oh, and of course OVE was involved as well. And then the kicker to all that, Pentagon gets unmasked, and that's a huge disrespect in the world of Lucha Libre. And of course, now this leads to Pentagon. And okay, so I guess I am going to jump around the episode a little bit here, so bear with me. Pentagon later in the episode does challenge Sami Callihan to a match at Slammiversary, and this is where it gets interesting. He challenges him to a mask versus hair, as in, if Pentagon loses, he will take off his mask. If Sammy loses, Pentagon's going to cut off his hair. And all the matches that I've seen recently that involve that kind of stuff, a lot of times, if I'm talking about AAA south of the border, the guys who lose those matches will stand in the middle of the ring with the clippers and shave their head. Now, I'd be very curious to see if Sami Callihan actually does this. Or would his boys hold him down for the sake of honor and make him cut his hair? Because, man, Sammy love me some Sami Callihan. Don't get me wrong. Love the guy. Love his character. Love him in Lucha Underground. Love him all over the place. He's everywhere. He's in MLW, Impact Wrestling. Lucha Underground is Jeremiah Crane. Oh, my. And I'm probably forgetting a couple. But he's all over the place, just like Pentagon. But, man, since I've become a fan of his from a handful of years ago, right before he joined the WWE was when I really started paying attention to him and seeing old CZW footage and stuff. And his hair, oh my goodness. See, folks, that's what happens when you dye your hair. It just wrecks it. You got to take care of your hair. There's right ways and there's wrong ways to do it. But obviously, he's on a budget. He's probably doing it the cheap way. He's not getting it professionally done. He's in PWG too. Yeah, that's right. He's all over the place. Welcome, Demon Rocks. to the chat this evening. I heard a rumor that Rosemary is cleared but isn't going to wrestle until after Slammiversary. Could be. Plus, her and Su Yung will have a red wedding match at Bound for Glory. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. Heard she was injured or something. I'm not sure, but I thought she was wrestling somewhere else. I could be wrong. Thought she did some stuff with Rise, unless that was just promo work or something. Not sure. Yes, message of the evening. Take care of your hair. I speak only the truth here, folks. Only the truth. Oh my goodness. Thanks guys for lighting up the chat tonight. Appreciate it. Keep it going. Let's see what's next here. So yeah, Pentagon challenges Sami Callihan, and then later on in the episode, Callihan with his boys accept. They accept, so they are going to meet at Slammiversary, mask versus hair. I cannot wait to see that. That is going to be one of the highlights, and we get a couple other announcements as far as shows and matches coming up at Slammiversary. We'll get to that in a bit. We see a promo for the Journey of Moose, and he talks about how he went through football and how much he loved wrestling, and when he kind of like his mental process of like deciding when to get into wrestling and stuff like that. It was a cool little promo. I mean, I've liked Moose for a while, but he's one guy I never really got behind that much. But I have to say, he has impressed me lately over the course of the last, I'd say, year. With what I've seen, I've grown as a fan. Some of the stuff, some of the stuff that he did, now this is not his fault. This is, how he's booked or whatever. Like, for example, when he did that big thing with Bobby Lashley, I didn't dig it. I wasn't invested in it. I don't know. I like both guys. I think there was too many outside things that were, kind of just made the whole thing nuts. Agents in the chat tonight. I don't see Pentagon losing that one. No, you know what? I don't either. But hey, we've seen people unmasked on Lucha Underground before. Dr. Wagner lost his mask within the last, year to 2 years? Whatever it was. Big show with, oh my God. Who was that? Psycho Clown? I forget. Within the last year. So, big names in the world of professional wrestling who are under a mask are unmasking themselves. Don't know why, I mean, it's like, okay, they've done all they could do. Now it's time to change their character or reinvent themselves. It happens. So, yeah. Journey of Moose. Okay, then we go on to the House of Hardcore match, which, by the way, we'll talk about House of Hardcore in a minute. Eddie attacks Tommy Dreamer. Now, I did not see who Tommy Dreamer was in the ring with. It looked like it was one of the Christ brothers. I mean, it's obviously from the past, but they tie it all into like currently. So, I mean, it's really neither here nor there. It's not like, oh, well, how could they show him here and then he was also, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. I love wrestling. I love Impact Wrestling. I am not going to nitpick this to death that much. But Eddie attacks Tommy with the kendo stick, and he's bleeding, and he's gushing, and he chokes him out, leaves him in the ring. Boo, Eddie. Eddie takes the blood, smears it on his face. Loved it. Loved it. I love this evolution of Eddie Edwards. I know I've said that before, probably sounds redundant now, but it's true. From a guy who went from, you know, white bread, baby face, is that what they call it? You know what I mean. Baby face, squeaky clean, fan favorite to, oh my God, now he's smearing someone else's blood on his face. I mean, that's crazy. That's some really crazy shit. Could you imagine, like, if, let's say John Cena comes down to the ring and attacks, oh, I don't know. We'll just say attacks Undertaker, bloodies him up with a kendo stick, takes the Undertaker's blood, rubs it on his face. Dude, people would be like putting their heads through their own televisions in like disbelief. So no, Eddie Edwards, the evolution of Eddie Edwards is not obviously as big as something like John Cena, but I'm just saying, it's what are they doing comparing Eddie Edwards to John Cena? I don't understand. It's beer. Just go with it. And Moose even tries to talk to Eddie Edwards outside, and he basically tells him to F off. And it's like, oh, yeah, just, he's holding a kendo stick, just back off. It's smart business at that point. Oh my goodness, what's next here? We got I skipped the match. Oh my goodness, I apologize. We have another debut tonight, the Desi Hit Squad. Now, I'm going to do my best to get this right. Some new names here, so bear with me. The great Gama Singh, this is the manager, is managing the Desi Hit Squad. The two guys are one we've seen before several times. He also won the global, what the hell's it called? The contest that was like a handful of months ago, and he won it, the one up in Canada. I cannot remember what the hell it's called. Anyways, he won that. Rohit Roju, along with another newcomer, Jersinder Singh, I believe that's what they said his name was. Solid team for one of the guys, like never even seen him before. They went up against Z&E, DJ Z, and Andrew Everett, former tag champs. Lost last week, so probably not in the best headspace this week to face a brand new team, which probably gave an advantage to the new team of the Desi Hit Squad. So the Desi Hit Squad comes out with a win here. And I forgot something. But anyways, while this match is going on, they talk about two shows that are coming up on the Impact Wrestling Twitch channel. And if you have not checked out the Twitch channel, go check it out. Give it a follow or give it a sub if you want to pay the $5 or whatever, or support them. These are free shows that they're sticking on there, so why not? One is coming up in, what is this? Couple weeks. Got to change my calendar around here. Couple weekends from now. No. Two Sundays from now? When are we on here? 2 Sundays from now. The 7th, or Saturday. Yeah. Saturday. July 7th. Weekend from now, they are teaming up with Rise. It's an all-women company, and I think they're mainly out of the Midwest, but they do tour around a little bit, depending on who they got on the card and whatnot. It sounds like, So it's all women. So it's also a company that's going to help produce knockouts for Impact Wrestling, is what it sounds like the relationship is, the partnership, which is phenomenal. I mean, Impact Wrestling is really improved over the last, I'd say, year and a half with this new bunch of women that they brought in, like Taya, Tessa, Madison came back, Su Young, just to name a few. And now you're going to see even more, and I'm hoping we see stuff like Jessica Havoc coming back to the company, stuff like that. That'd be awesome. I would love to see that. And also a few weeks after that, July 29th is what it looks like. They're partnering up with AML. Now, I don't have any other information other than the date and who they're partnering up with, but we'll find out matches real soon, and I'll feed them to you as soon as I find out, as soon as they're announced. So good stuff coming there. That's a weekend after Slammiversary. So that'll be a really hot time for Impact. Now, back to House of Hardcore. Almost forgot. This Sunday, if you missed my update from a few videos ago, House of Hardcore has not shown events. They do the weekly little shows that are about half an hour, 45 minutes long-ish. But as far as the big events that they air on there, the numbered events, they haven't shown them in a few months since Mania weekend, WrestleCon weekend. They're finally getting back to that. And it's just because Tommy's got his hand in a lot of different jars. He's working with, he's doing his own company. He's working with Impact. He's working with Ring of Honor. So he's all over the place. And he's got to be careful how and when he shows certain content. And it's also easier to show stuff later when it's all edited properly because of that. So, and that's what he was talking about the other night when he did his State of House of Hardcore address. Go check it out. It's a fun little video he did from his man cave. So House of Hardcore this weekend, which I also cover for WrestlingWithWrestling.com along with Lucha Underground. You can go over there. This content right here is for RantWithAnt.com. Kind of nice, just promoting back and forth. Two different families I'm with. I love it. House of Hardcore is doing 41, and that was from back late April. Did not catch who's all on that show, but House of Hardcore shows are fun. You got decent wrestling, some really gritty violence, and then some comedy, kind of like what you're getting on Impact lately. So, and I will be covering that. We'll be reviewing that. Maybe not the night of. We'll see what happens. But I will be getting back to doing House of Hardcore reviews whenever they put them out. I'll be checking them out, putting up reviews on WrestlingWithWrestling.com. Back to Impact Wrestling. We go to the LAX Clubhouse. The championships are there. The money's flowing. The tequila's getting sipped, drank, whatever. I don't know. Whatever they do in the clubhouse, they're doing it. They're in a phenomenal mood. Conan shows up again. Not in a good mood. Gets in King's face. And now the deception is really starting to kick in here. Now bad blood is really starting to come to the surface, and accusations are flying, and the tag team champs are confused. They're happy with what they're seeing with King. They're happy with the results that King is producing for them. He's become their inspiration, like Conan, their guide, because without someone like that, they were falling flat on their face. So The tag champs are trying to wrap their heads around this. They're confused. They're upset. They don't like this going on. They're trying to keep the mood positive. They just won the championships. The money's coming in. I'm sure the hoes are right around the corner. Like, hoes? Where are the hoes? King's always got some hoes. I shouldn't say that too loud. Wife will come in here and give me the mean look again. Why's my husband talking about hoes and tequila? Well, hon, at the LAX clubhouse, oh my goodness. So yeah, crazy stuff going on in the LAX clubhouse. Tensions rising. It's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, I know what's going to happen, but I'm not sure how it's going to happen. I'm not going to give nothing away. It's the information's out there if you want to find it. I don't really want to know. I already know too much, so I'm just going to leave it at that. But when it hits, it's going to be exciting. Matt Sydal faces Desmond Xavier. Phenomenal match. And Matt Sydal comes out on top. No belts going anywhere. No championships on the line. But obviously, if Desmond Xavier had won this, he would have get a championship shot. So, but this ends in Brian Cage coming down to the ring, followed by Congo Kong, and it's just a hot mess. So yeah, Cage goes after Sydal. Kong attacks Cage. Jimmy Jacobs is just sitting there looking whatever he was doing at ringside, like he always does. And so that's going to lead to a match next week. And I'll get to all the next week stuff in just a little bit. Bear with me. We then get to a promo where Callahan, with his boys, accepts the challenge of Pentagon for Slammiversary. And then we get announced, a fatal four-way for Slammiversary. This is huge. I'm not sure I don't think there's going to be any stipulation other than it's a fatal four-way. But usually when they do something with big names in this match, the winner's going to get something. But it wasn't that case. But I'm sure it's going to be revealed sometime. We'll see. So we got Rich Swann, who recently debuted, versus a returning Johnny Impact, or I like to call him Johnny Mundo on another show. The Bone Soldier, Ishimori, straight from Japan. New Japan, that is. And the High Flyer, Phoenix. So that's quite the combination of folks. And like they said, international, quite the international flair in this match from all over the place, from south of the border, across the seas, and some right here. So, cannot wait for that fatal four-way. Some big names in there. Not even going to try to predict that one. That's I love them all. It's going to be interesting. Aries cuts a promo, obviously on Moose. Cutting them down, getting some serious boos from the crowd on that one too. And I want to say congratulations to the girl who was interviewing him, Alicia, and I'm probably going to screw up her last name, so I apologize ahead of time. A tout? I think that's how you pronounce it. If it's wrong, I apologize. But she's got a YouTube channel on here as well. Interviews a lot of wrestlers, some bands, quite the growing channel. But she's based up in Canada where they just did the tapings. I don't know how she got the job, but she did a good job. So, and that's not a knock on her. I'm just saying she's lucky, she knows someone. somebody made a phone call, and I can't wait to see more of her backstage work. Not sure where, what's her name? Mackenzie? Not sure where Mackenzie was, but nonetheless, congrats to Alicia, and we'll see how she does in the rest of the tapings here. Then we get Tessa Blanchard. Alicia, I wrote New Girl. I think that's what Aries called her. Well, hello, New Girl, or whatever. I don't know. Tessa Blanchard versus Madison Rayne. Great match. Ends in Su Yung attacking Madison Rayne with a slew. The official word is slew. It's like a, it's a real amount, isn't it? A slew? Whatever. A slew of undead brides coming down to the ring with her. Creepy as hell. I love it. And Allie. I thought Allie was dead and buried. Casket set on fire. Poof, up in ashes. Smoke, gone. That's it. Zilch, nada. No. Allie's back. Rescues Madison Rayne. That's some Houdini shit right there. I tell you. I don't know how Allie did that. And for all the folks in the chat talking about Rosemary coming back and all that, I don't know how she's going to come back either. They buried her a month ago. Well, dig her ass up. We'll wait. All right. So let's talk about what's going on. Here we go. Next week. Oh, my goodness, folks. These tapings are going to get crazy. Next week, we get the debut match from Killer Effin' Cross. I say it again. Killer Effin' Cross makes his debut next week. I don't know who he's facing. I don't want to know. You could check the obits if you want, because he's already dead. Because they taped these a few weeks ago. But no, I'm just kidding. Whoever it is, I feel bad for him. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Phoenix versus Rich Swann is going to happen next week. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be a lot of fun. Seriously. We also get an update from Tommy Dreamer. Probably going to be all taped up. We also get Cage, Brian Cage. They call him Cage on another show. Same guy, slightly different persona. Cage versus Congo Kong. Now, the stipulation in this is if Cage loses, he loses the opportunity to face Seidel at Slammiversary. If he wins, he faces Seidel at Slammiversary. Now, I'm a little surprised it would end with that. I would assume they would throw Congo Kong in there too for good measure. But he's been kind of siding with Matt Seidel. But I mean, if I was Matt Seidel, I don't know if I would trust Congo Kong and or Jimmy Jacobs for that matter. Excuse me. So, that's it for this episode. Wow. Loaded episode. The rivalries are getting hot and heavy. I don't mean sexy hot and heavy. I just mean, So yeah, that's it. Can't wait till next week. Congrats to Rich Swans on his debut along with the Desi Hit Squad. Can't wait to see more of them going forward in Impact Wrestling. Thank you for watching Smash This Podcast. If you're new to the podcast, please hit that like button, smash that sub button, smash that like button, smash that like button, smash the sub, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. Whew, I'm going to finish this beer and crash. Good night, folks. We'll see you this weekend. Take care.